Hi, Harold. I'm shaking. 1 second. I just need to um, post the link to this. I could be better. I could be better. This is. Hi, chemist. Once I do this, there's no going back, and I know that. Um, yeah, once I do this, there's no going back. Cozy bedroom. Yeah, that feels very very cozy to me. Ooh. I'm sweating. I'm sweating in here. I'm kind of freaking out. I'm not gonna lie. Let me start by putting this in announcements. In announcements. May as well post it on Twitter too. Just so everyone knows we're live. Okay, this is happening. Where do I start? First of all, I was not going to come forward with this. I was going to keep it to myself. I'm terrified of what coming forward with information like this will do, and I don't know how people will react. And someone I thought I could trust, I told the situation to, and they recorded it, and they are threatening to leak it if I don't do it myself, because I need to get ahead of it. They are no longer in the Discord. They've left the Discord. What happened? Why did it happen? I want to start by saying I am so incredibly ashamed of myself. I don't know how I put myself in this position, and you would think after leaving a 5-year relationship I would not have done this to myself, considering I really thought I was doing better, realizing when I was being manipulated. And I'm just going to explain it. Okay? Essentially, the night my nudes got leaked, Keemstar had reached out to me. This was before I ever put it on Patreon. So for those of you who are saying I am handling it very well, I am not. My nudes got leaked. I put it on Twitter, and that night I drank for the very first time in my life. I drank half a bottle of Crown Royale whiskey. And I've always said I would never drink because my mom was an alcoholic, and she has put me through hell before she died. And I didn't want to be like her. And with fetal alcohol syndrome, you are more susceptible to get addicted, and you react to it differently. It sometimes can be more intense for you. That being said, I wasn't in my right mind. A lot has been going on. I was drunk for the very first time in my entire life. Hand to God, never before have I been drunk. And Keemstar had messaged me about the Lord Rush situation. If you want to see these DMs, it is in announcements. It gets worse. I promise you, it gets worse. Essentially, we had a little back and forth, and it ended up with me telling him that I was drunk and him asking to call me. I said, okay, sure. We get in a call, we reminisce, we talk about Locale Live and how much I missed it. And I do miss it, I won't take that back. I genuinely do miss it. I don't think I would go back, and I said that in the call that I'm about to play for you guys, that I know what's done is done, and I know that there are no bridges to mend. I know that there's a possibility of being neutral, but there is never a possibility of me coming back. And frankly, I don't want to come back. And after this, I will be target number one. Sorry. Ooh, kind of having a panic attack here. Okay. Okay. So what happened? Long story short, Keem had, one of the things was Keem had asked me to put on a blonde wig and get naked for him. He was kind of pushy about it. Again, I'll play that in a second. Yeah, he asked me to put on a blonde wig and get naked for him. He then proceeded to tell me that I looked like a mermaid. And again, totally my fault. I was drunk and under the influence. I did not think about what was going on. He then propositioned that if I worked really hard for the next few months and proved myself, that I would be able to come back. I don't know if that was like a manipulation thing or if he was serious. I don't know. There was a point where he said, at one point, we'll exchange fluids. This whole thing is a mess. I'm just going to, oh god. My career is probably, any career I ever had is probably over. I'm accepting that now. It's probably gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen, but
So we are back again, ladies and gentlemen. So let me get this out of the way. So I've always knew about the things Keemstar was involved. I heard about different rumors and things that he'd been involved. If you're not really aware about Keemstar as a person, I feel like you always should be, right? I feel like with any type of content creator, big or small, you should always be aware of what they are. Regardless if you agree with them or not, it's a different question. Because then, like, some content creators do get into politics or they have certain opinions about a certain thing. Hey, regardless, you should always be somewhat self-aware about the content creator themselves, right? And the people they are surrounded by. Keemstar is notorious for kind of manipulating situations to his advantage. He's a number of times has said that. He is very clear cut about the kind of person he is and the people he is surrounding himself by, right? At the same time, right, as much as Keemstar tried to put up a, holy denial, higher moral ground kind of grifting individual, he's also known to be a very, very hypocritical and very scummy. In the case of Linx, it's very clear, right? Now, if you're not aware, Linx was an employee of Keemstar. She helped him a lot, actually, and she was one of the first hosts for Local Queens. And due to a number of reasons, mainly dealing with Becky, she more or less quit from Keemstar and left that universe completely, right? It's a whole thing to it, and I've thought about doing a whole, I've thought about doing a sort of the Linx saga with LCU and kind of going over her history with it. Now, I'll probably put that off a little bit longer than I originally thought I would, but with things going on with Linx and Keem, it only has gotten a lot deeper. Now, as I said before, you should always be self-aware about the content creator. In the case of Keem, he has always had a history of doing a lot of very scummy, questionable things, very much morally wrong, I would even say. So let's get into what I'm implying, right? If you didn't see Linx stream, you should go check it out. You can kind of tell that by the first couple minutes, he's completely disabled. He's not in the right mental state. She even admitted that, like, a couple days ago, she had her first drink. She's 21, mind you, and she only recently had her drink. I'm not gonna dox somebody for not drinking because, truthfully, just from experience, from being a heavy drinker, don't drink. It's not worth it unless you're with people who are of good mind, right? In the first clip I show you, you can kind of, again, tell that she's very disheveled. She is not right in that moment. She is very disturbed. Because, the next couple clips in this video is going to be very long, and we have to go through detail to detail. You can tell that in this moment, she knows she made a clear mistake that she wishes she hasn't, right? Her and Keem talked a couple days ago. Now, why they talked, she explained it because of the whole situation with her ex and the leaking and all that stuff. I think Keem saw an advantage to manipulate somebody in a very vulnerable state. This is very common with a lot of content creators when they are in that kind of position. Usually, the right thing would do is to help somebody get them through it regardless of past history, and then that's it. And if you want to walk away from each other after they help you, that's up to you. Clearly he saw a moment of weakness and took it. He jumped on it very, I would even say, very predatorial. Too
much. I really liked you, friend level and teetering past friendship. I was she is the girl. I can mold her into being a superstar. And then you betrayed me, and I was like, but I've given her everything. I gave her my assistant. I told her she's keemstar number 2. I've given her the keys to the key. I made her the VP of the fucking company. I've given her everything, and she's still betraying me, and I can't trust her, and it hurt. When I banned you and I had to kick you from the community, it hurt me. But I had to. I just know better. I'm too old. I got too much knowledge of the shit and how things go wrong. You know what I mean? It truly pained me to kick you out. And that's the honest truth since we're opening up.
When you say that I betrayed you, in what sense? Because right before I got banned, I had said that I know that Becky was faking the essay, and then I got banned.
That wasn't it. That had no part. As you're mentioning this now, I'm barely even remembering it. It was literally just you going and telling people that Becky had shit on me. That was the main thing. I was like, dude, I can't have my second in charge telling people that there's some fucking exposed type video on me, because even if there was, I'd be like, let's play it. Let's see what it is. I don't like living with dirt on my head. If this conversation ever got fucking leaked or whatever, I would feel so betrayed by you and probably never speak to you again, right? But I'd be like, it's true. You know what I mean? I don't care. What is the consequences to that? Yeah. There is none.
Well, there's none when you're keemstar.
Well, there's none when you're you either, right?
Doxing private phone calls may be illegal in the States, but I'm in Canada, and it's one-way consent law.
You ran off, you got exiled from the company or the community or whatever in the company, but you still have your fucking gooners or whatever, right? You still have your people that fuck with you, right? That literally left LCU because they're loyal to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, did
Yeah.
that piss you off when I stole one of your $2,000 a month members because they didn't like the rule that you made? Did that piss you off?
It didn't piss me off. If I'm being totally honest, I was proud of you.
I am shocked that I've maintained the community that I have despite the incident that occurred. I thought it was over for me the second you made that rule. I thought it was over, and
I make moves that like make me seem like I'm like insecure and whatever. I'm like, oh my god, this person's trying to steal stuff. But really, I'm pretty confident. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, it comes across insecure, but like, I'm truly confident like what I'm doing, right? Like, I have a clear vision. You know, I've been doing this for such a long time where like I know like if I go live and I'm performing in front of a live audience or whatever, like I'm gonna win. You know?
that you get shit done.
How so? Well, what am I not seeing in you? Is she like me and you get distracted by fucking
Everything about you is. Why did this combo even happen? It happened the night that I leaked my like nudes on Twitter, and he reached out to me to say that it wasn't Lord Roush, found that I was drunk, and asked me to call him.
So in the first, well, not first clip, but in the second clip of this beginning of the recording, Linx more or less recorded the conversation between her and keemstar. Now, from what I understand, she lives in Canada. He lives in New York. I'm not doxing them. They admitted it a number of times in their personal stuff. So, you know, in their videos, in their stream. So there's that. And she recorded everything. Good on her. When you're dealing with a lot of these content creators or whoever, it is kind of important to record, especially the ones that are like have influence or have big numbers of subscribers and are easily able to manipulate or at least sway their people into a certain direction. Having the information on hand is extremely important. What she did was right. I don't blame her. Right. And I think, again, in the moment, and I will criticize her here. I would say that, you should have probably not drank given that you have a disability. People with disabilities act very different, and a lot of the time are not. Because you got to remember, if you have a disability, physical and mentally, and you start taking substances that are already can alter a mind that is not all the way there to begin with, you start to do things that you will end up regretting. I've been with people who are bipolar, and when they start drinking, their mood swings are much more aggressive, if anything, even more violent, right? For those people who are like that. And even, and again, I'll criticize her again here, is a case, because what Keem did to her and what she did, all that is wrong. But at the same time, you have to be willing to admit, like, hey, you had your first drink, you had a moment of weakness. It is what it is, and it's gonna happen. And the fact that she owned up to it, I give her credit for that. At the same time, don't drink. If you're in a situation where you're that stressed out and you're gonna be doing any type of substance or anything that will alter your mind, is not the best. It is never the best. If you're stressed out or something like that's happening, do not drink, do not smoke, don't do anything that can alter your mind, because you are more likely to make more mistake on top of, especially if you have a disability.
And I miss you. I truly, truly miss you.
I miss you more than words can even describe. I wish you could understand how much.
And at one point, we'll exchange fluids, but there's no rush. Like, I will totally turn your face into a glazed donut at some point in our lives, but I miss my friend.
Well, there's no reason I have to go anywhere.
What do you mean?
I mean, like...
Yeah.
We're not...
Are you side by side?
What do you mean side by side?
It's a ATV.
Oh.
But it's like a car. It's got like a steering wheel and shit, right? And it's got a full cab on it. And it's got heating. It's got air conditioning. It's got up and down fucking windows. Like motorized. Like boom, 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 boom. It is the Cadillac of these fucking things. And I've been riding them on my trails, drunk, filled with women, and it's been fucking great. Like, you don't understand. Like, you know how fucking cold it is right now. Like, we're close enough to it. You know how fucking cold it is.
Yeah, it's freezing.
We got heat bumping, stereo fucking blasting. The cab noise from the engine is the lowest one in the field. Like, I went out to get the quietest like engine noise in the cab type of shit. And yeah, dude, it's fucking legendary. You need to get your single ass over to fucking America. You need to hang out with me in Brantley. Get that pussy popped.
Oh boy. I guess we gotta get the passport ASAP.
The what?
So I guess I gotta make sure my passport comes ASAP.
I thought you said cosplay for a minute. I was like,
no.
what cosplay? Yeah. Well, you gotta make peace with Brantley somehow. She's really upset about her family getting doxxed. Like, I'm telling you, I had screenshots
who it was?
Yeah, the person got. My whole computer froze. I'm trying to get back on Discord.
Yeah, my Discord isn't even loading right now. Keem and Brantley are in an open relationship,
Oh,
yes.
what? I'm trying to see you masturbate before I go to bed.
Oh my god.
Why am I happy? Bro, I have this in my mind that this is how it ends. If it doesn't end this way, I'm gonna cry. My whole computer's shutting down right now. I'm not even joking.
I think this is enough sign that it's just not meant to be tonight.
No. You can give up all you want. Me? Never. This is hilarious. Okay, so do you have any idea what my setup looks like?
Sort of.
Okay, so you know how one of the monitors is sideways or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
For the chat? Well, now that it's doing this air shit, it's making me click on something on the fucking chat sideways monitor. It's impossible to run the mouse to get.
Oh no. Oh no.
Dude,
Oh my
did
god.
you hack my whole fucking computer? What is going on, bitch?
I'm telling you, it is not meant to be, apparently.
Well, that would be sad. That would be a sad ending.
This recording is April 12th. April 12th. Right there. April 12th.
I like that. Alright, I'm gonna restart my fucking computer. Fuck all this. Alright, I'm restarting this computer, and I'm gonna try Discord once this fucking thing opens, and if this doesn't work, then we are fucked.
This year, yeah, it says the year right there. And if you go look at the screenshots I dropped in main chat, you'll see the date. Brantley was there with him at the beginning. Play with it.
Clear bait.
Okay, so... Oh my god, there's so much. Because Keem was pissed drunk. I'm just trying to think where... I mean, literally... No? Who did? She got me a brand new phone, a piece... Oh no. God was not on my side today.
What do you mean I am on your side?
Oh my lord. Oh, now you're referring to yourself as God? Exactly the...
Joke.
I don't believe that was a joke. Can you commend the fact that even though you took that PC back, finessed some poor motherfucker to send me an entire new setup, who still to this day buys me $100 fucking bucks of random shit all the time? All my unboxing videos are all from one person, just sending me packages. And the best part is, it's not even a simp. It's an older lady who thinks of me like her daughter. So it's not even creepy. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to get this phone down.
I mean...
It's a little disturbing in that clip. Really disturbing would be one more, but also kind of the way he's talking, the way he's acting. Sounds like a rich kid who just finally made his first million. Yeah, I got myself a Lambo. I got myself a, fully, RTV or ATV. You know what I mean, girl? You know what I mean? Girl, come. That's the kind of person he's sounding like. It sounds like he never grew past that high school level mentality. Then again, most YouTubers really don't, especially a much older YouTuber, really never pass that mentality. And, obviously, as, at that recording went, it was just the way Keem acted, the way he is, right? And we are going to see a little bit more recordings down the line. We also are going to see what other people that know Linx said. And if you're not aware, also Nick Diordo said he's going to cover this. I don't really know what else I can say about this particular clip and this whole screen recording. You can kind of tell that Linx is a little intoxicated. You can tell that Linx is clearly, I wouldn't say a little intoxicated, but clearly is very intoxicated just by the way she's talking, the way she's acting. But again, it's always an excuse, and I believe she also admitted that that is an excuse on her end as well.
We have crazy news that just dropped that I need to go over with you guys immediately. This is insane. First of all, I am vindicated, okay? This is crazy. So for anybody watching the replay or just coming in, Linx, who used to be an employee of Keemstar and was briefly a host of his show Lolcow Queens and also worked behind the scenes for Keemstar's shows Lolcow Live, Lolcow Queens, etc., is currently live, Linx, on YouTube, Drama Queen Linx, showing voice audio of a voice call between her and Keemstar from last Sunday, which I believe is April the 12th or 13th, where he implies that she could get her job back if she works hard. He calls her once she's inebriated. He asks to see her masturbate, and there are DMs also dropped where he asks her to prove that her tits are real. That's what I know so far. Keemstar is fully aware that this woman is a 21-year-old legally retarded disabled girl. Okay, I am not saying that to offend anybody or to be insulting. She has fetal alcohol syndrome, which is a form of brain damage. She is legally considered disabled from Canada. In Canada, she lives in Canada. Her government has they don't even give her the ability to drive. That's how disabled she is. She collects disability checks. I mean, this is crazy. He is absolutely done. He's done. Okay, it's over. Now, do I feel fucking vindicated? Do I feel vindicated? Oh wait, hold on. Multi-streaming with partner income. Okay, multi-stream now. Do I feel vindicated because I said from the beginning, like, Keemstar and his girlfriend are in an open relationship. Mike, kid behind a camera, and Bridget are in an open relationship. We know that Keemstar asked Miss Hayes to come over and implied sexual situations with him and his girlfriend Brantley. Miss Hayes said that herself on my stream. I said this is a sex cult. It's really weird. How come they only have OnlyFans girls on there? How come Keemstar is calling me up drunk at 1:30, and when I don't answer his call at 1 in the morning, I get canned? What's going on here? What's going on here? Well, it looks like what's going on here is, according to what Linx has been dropping, Keemstar is using his power as the host of LolCal Live, which does get a decent amount of viewers, thousands of viewers, to contact a disabled 21-year-old ex-employee of his, implying she could get her job back if she works hard enough, and then asking her for sexual favors. Lock him up and throw away the key. This is crazy. So I'm gonna pull up her stream right now. It's because it's live right now. It's hard to figure out exactly where to go. I'm sure once she goes off air, there will be plenty of clips. She has 292 watching right now. Now I am trying to encourage this girl. Now Let me give you a little bit of backstory about Linx. This is Linx, okay? And she recently got her nudes leaked by her ex-boyfriend, and then started a Patreon leaking more of her own nude content in an attempt to take power away from the revenge porn, the person who posted her leaks. I'm sorry, allegedly from her boyfriend. I don't know. I never saw evidence. She claimed it was Lord Rush, and then that was disproven. It wasn't Lord Rush. So I don't know who leaked it, but she did genuinely have her nudes leaked, and then she started a Patreon. Now I have been critical of that, and my dad did say, she's a stupid whore, and I hope she gets everything that's coming to her. I would like to officially retract those statements, and my dad did retract them on our kick stream a few days ago, or maybe yesterday. I don't remember exactly when, because at the time when I was criticizing her for starting the Patreon, and I said, this is not a good look for your reputation. You're ending your career as a 21-year-old. Getting into prostitution, that kind of stuff's not a good idea, and you're dumb if you don't accept my help with this. I would just say at the time, I did not understand that this woman is as disabled as she is. I genuinely didn't, and neither did my dad. And in hindsight, it does look like bullying, and I'm sorry. Like, that's genuinely my bad. I didn't understand. But if you watch the Twitter clip that I have of her explaining her condition, I'll pull it up for you guys. I believe you'll understand exactly how bad this situation is for Keemstar and why Linx should seek retribution for this and everything else that's been done to her in terms of the sexual stuff. It's unacceptable. Watch this.
She has fetal alcohol syndrome. They kept saying this, and that she will eventually say that she's retarded and manipulated her into doing that.
First of all, I'm retarded. I can confirm that.
Wait, they're saying that Grace has fetal alcohol syndrome?
No, they were saying
I
that
do.
about me.
I have fetal alcohol syndrome disorder, and it's severe, and it's essentially a form of brain damage. And legally, I am retarded. I've said this multiple times.
She has fetal alcohol syndrome. They kept saying.
Okay, so she says it herself. She has severe fetal alcohol syndrome, which is a form of brain damage. She is considered legally retarded, and it's essentially a form of brain damage. Okay, so that's that right there. And I would like to add that Keemstar is completely aware that that's true about her. He's been aware of that for months. Number one, because he was fully aware that she was receiving disability checks from the Canadian government, which was part of a whole drama about him paying her because people were accusing her of scamming her disability because she was receiving an income from him. Secondly, there's literally an audio clip of him saying, Brantley, I hired a retard. Literally, because Linx leaked this phone call she had with Keem where she was explaining the situation to him as her status. And he, as a joke, says to Brantley, who's like in the room with him or whatever, Brantley, I hired a retard. And that was from like 2 months ago. So he 100% knew that she was legally disabled, which is insane. This happened the night her nudes were leaked. Good to know. I didn't know that. I criticized Ethan Ralph for swooping in when she released the Patreon. And, we also have the clip of that. It's significantly less heinous, but it's also bad of Ethan Ralph coming in the night she opened her Patreon and openly discussing jerking off to this disabled girl's nude pictures, which is right here.
Nice snatch right there, I have to say.
Here it is.
I'm a pussy and a face guy, actually. And then tits are like third. Now your titties are really nice, so they might move up to second. And legs also. The pussy look good from what I can see.
So now in this particular clip, my apology. Grace was streaming parallel with Linx because Linx started early in the morning around I believe 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, around that period of time. And then eventually Grace, when she heard the news, obviously jumped on the moment and decided to stream about it herself. Which makes sense given that obviously her and Linx have a bit of a past with each other. At this point, if something big's happened with Linx, usually the high chance Grace is always going to cover it, regardless of situation, regardless of the bad blood they have with each other, right? Because that's who they are at Bassin, right? They're able, they see an opportunity and they jump on it to make content. Even after the whole bloodbath they had with each other, especially dealing with Ethan Brown. What they try to use, again, they try to really go with this whole narrative. Well, I said that word really wrong. The whole the whole thing about, Linx being retarded and everything. Right, and at the same time, I can't blame her because I'm doing the same. Though, what I'm trying to do is really give you kind of a timeline, or not a timeline, but a set of clips that are, taking certain events and places them in a certain order to give the audience, what's going on, to give them what's going on and everything that's happening, right? That's what I try to generally do, and in the case of Grace right now with this particular clip, this is like within the first 10, 20 minutes of her stream, and her just kind of going through this and talking about it. At the same time, you can tell she has a very clear, snarky, like passive aggressive towards Linx, like trying to, in a weird way, trying to feel like she's better than Linx because the whole thing with Linx and her Patreon and the whole that leaking situation and how mad she got. In reality, like they probably did kind of got a little weird out or really more mad about her doing the new stuff. Even though in the past we have literally heard some questionable things about things Grace have said. Right.
I don't associate with Grace. I see that he said sorry. Makeup model, keem space with the glazed donut. Jesus. That's not even the part where he said how he wanted to watch me. Come on. Why am I being tagged somewhere? Where am I being tagged?
I mean, I don't take it personally with Linx. It's fine. I understand you don't trust me or my dad or whatever. But I do think at this point, Linx, like, I'm just saying, you have trusted who? Keemstar, Ethan, Ralph. Look at what they've done to you. They're sexually humiliating you privately and publicly and taking advantage of the fact that you're a vulnerable person. And I don't think you should trust them. Maybe not me either. I mean, of course, I think you should trust me because I do think that I am stronger than you in some ways. And unlike Ava and Ruby, I did not encourage you to do sex work. I told you I thought it would be a bad idea. I told you I was willing to help you to, fix the thing. I strongly suggest you take your Patreon down and seek legal counsel. You don't have to trust me, but like ask a lawyer about this. If you're on the verge of eviction, like you just had something done to you that you are entitled to compensation for. This is unjust. I don't know exactly what I'd call it, but I mean, at least talk to a lawyer. That would be my suggestion. Free consultation. It doesn't have to be about me, but if you want my help, I'm more than willing to offer it because this is just flatly wrong. This is just flat out gross to do to somebody, especially in your position. And I haven't experienced this kind of sexual leechery, exploitation, perversion because I do have a head on my shoulders. I do have a dad who gives me the confidence to not seek this kind of attention from men. And if they give it to me, to tell them no, most of the time. And that's why Keemstar didn't try this with me. That's why Kid Behind the Camera didn't try this with me. But he did it to you, and he got you to do something that is deeply humiliating and wrong. And you should try to seek justice for it because you are a vulnerable person. You have a legal disability. You have a mental disability. You shouldn't be treated like this. Men should not take advantage of you for sexual pleasure because you have a mental disability and you can't quite figure out exactly what's going on. It's not fair to you. I genuinely mean that. It doesn't have much to do with me. It's just it's the honest setup of the situation. That pig Ruby encouraged you to go into sex work. I don't think it's a good idea for disabled people to get into sex work, but she does. She said it was a win for you. She said I was jealous of you. Linx, you're a pretty girl. You have a nice body. I never said you didn't. You're a soft-spoken, mentally challenged or mentally disabled person. You should be protected and you should do fun stuff on the internet, not sex work, not like having Keemstar ask you to masturbate on a phone call. It's fucking gross. And also, Linx, I'm sorry, don't listen to most of chat, okay? Because the internet has a large incel base, okay? And they're going to be like always on the guy's side. And I do understand that men get fucked over by women and yada yada, and they're going to say you're a whore and stuff. But I just don't think people understand the situation you're in. You are a vulnerable adult. You do not have the mental capacities that other people do. You should be protected by somebody in these situations. And even if you're not, if somebody takes advantage of the fact that you're a vulnerable adult, which is a legal term, by the way, then you should seek justice against that person. Sorry, that's just the honest fact of the matter. People saying like, oh, she's a hoe, she did it to herself. I also said that, and that's why I retract that statement, because I didn't understand the situation you were in. I just didn't understand the situation she was in. So I was like, oh yeah, you're a hoe who leaked your own nudes, and then she's making money off of it. Like, you're actually not in that situation. Somebody like Ava or Ruby, who has full mental capacity, can be criticized for that. Not you. I'm sorry, it's just not the same thing. It's not. You and Ben were cussing her out a few days back, and I do apologize for that. I retract my statement. I do think that if somebody's rude to you and you offer to help them with their sexual reputation for no reason, really, like if they're rude to you for no reason, you're perfectly willing to call them out. However, I didn't understand the situation she was in, so I don't think either me or my dad should have treated her that harshly. And I've said that a few days ago. My dad said that. I say it now. My bad. My bad. I do think hoes should be called out, but I don't really think this is classic hoeing. It's just, it's beyond the pale to consider it like classic hoeing. Like, I know it's not quite the same, but like if a Down syndrome person starts an OnlyFans, you're not gonna go like, hey, you're a whore. It's like, where are your parents? You know what I mean? Holy shit. Okay, I did get a video file. I'm gonna open this. Okay, not sure what this is, but
If you're 43 doing this stuff, I don't know what to tell you. Can you give us anything at all what Keem is saying?
So it's funny that like previously in the other clip I gotta mention that Grace tried to say that like Elsie was right about them being a sex cult. I ain't gonna lie about that. She was pretty right. You know, sometimes a broken clock can be right twice a day. But then again, also like seeing Ruby was trying to push that perspective that it was a cult, and I do think, and I've never really gone around making a video on whether really getting into like is it a cult in a very secular sense. I think it is, but not enough to really make it a cult in any real sense. Because by that logic, like, come on, like most of these different Discord and these different communities would be considered cults by then, right? It's overusing the word because it's convenient at the time. Now, to get into the whole thing about trust, I mean, like, how is it any better trusting you guys, right? Like, Grace tried to say, like, well, obviously I would trust myself, like, and it's funny because her comment section were during this live stream we're kind of laughing at the idea of like why would anybody want to trust Grace and the thorps, and really I don't blame them. I don't even blame Linx for not wanting to trust them. I don't trust them really. It's like you kind of can't go, you can't really say, oh, these people screw you over. Yeah, in the case of Keem, yeah, but like they also try to use Ethan Ralph, but again, the whole thing with Ethan Ralph is mostly done because they have bad blood and they want to get back with Kino Casino. I already made a whole thing about this in a whole separate video going over the whole Linx and Grace situation a couple days ago. Let's go check that out. But it's kind of like pathetic. It's kind of pathetic what Grace is trying to do, and I think most people can see it. Though I also do think when it's coming to the Keem stuff, I think she is correct about her assessment for the most part about Keem. But I think when it's coming to like her and her relationship with Ling, it's clearly that I don't think she feels remorse because he said they take back what they said, but like given their history, give it a couple of days and they'll turn back and say the other thing. Because they were slighted or their ego were hurt, like always.
Keem doesn't have the pull he pretends to. I mean, I think he does. He admitted on call with me that he's responsible for what happened to Grace. I have that on recording. Just like I have it on recording that Becky shaving her head was fake. Just like I have it on recording that he doesn't believe that Becky was actually SA'd. Don't do any interviews with anyone unless they come on your channel. Don't let other people make money off you. They want to talk to you, they gotta come to your channel. I didn't think about that. I mean, I guess it depends on who it is. If I would consider. I believe most people just say that they believe the Becky SA. I just say that to avoid any more trouble. Yeah, I don't know, he told me that he doesn't believe it. He told me that he doesn't think he can let Wings back. I will be genuine about that. What did Keem do to get Grace banned? He just reached out to his contacts. He reached out to his contacts. How's the Discord during all this? Yeah, I do like how the only docs thing that he talked about during, which by the way, if you guys don't know, I was banned for doxing apparently. The only dox information that he has for the reason why I was banned was apparently that I doxed Brantley's family, but he admitted that it wasn't me, it was someone in my Discord server, but then couldn't provide the evidence. Even though I had Sly God as mod when this was, before this was ever accused, and I had Sly go search her name, make sure nothing.
Now, one interesting thing about this whole stream was her revealing of Keem admitting that like all the stuff with Becky was fake, the essay stuff was fake, the hairstyle was fake, the whole thing with a bunch of other stuff was clearly fake, which we all kind of knew. Now, in terms of the essay stuff with Becky, Keem has admitted, or quote unquote, said on live stream, on air, that he believes Becky about the essay stuff because Becky made a whole thing about it. I stand that if anything, she lied about the essay, and because he lied about it and made such a big claim to cause a whole shock across the whole universe, it resulted in them more or less unable to take that back. Because once something like that was set wide and open, it was kind of very difficult to take it back. So that's why Keem more or less believed her, or at least he's faking to believe her. In reality, he knows that it's all fake, and I think even Becky knows it's fake, because they have no choice but to accept the lie for what it is, a lie. And that's really what it is.
Yeah, just text me and I got you. We will drop our logo in Discord. Perfect. Make another one with Arthur theme song. Ooh, Arthur would be good. All I know is that it's all RT's fault. Linx thought she had dirt and then remembered she's not a minor and it literally means nothing. No, I dropped the dirt. Morally, it's weird what he did. Nothing wrong legally. I was drunk. Maybe, Anthony, maybe. I haven't thought of it like that. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up here. Has anyone realized yet that Keemstar is the biggest locale in the locale universe? I clipped the calls and posted them on Twitter links. Can you tag me? I'll repost it. Yeah, tag me and I'll repost it for others. The legal gray area comes from former employment and indulging to potential future. Yeah, that's true. There's Keem dangled getting her job back for sexual favors. He's a Harvey Weinstein of YouTube. Hey boy. Keem was in a position of power when he asked. And you hear in the video that he was like, blonde wig, go put on the blonde wig now, blonde now. Harvey Weinstein.
Which one Keem fucking it out?
Yes.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to remember that. Shit, Keem. Definitely beats my Kim Jong-un when I used to say he was a dictator.
Yeah, the embarrassing part is you didn't do what he said. Imagine sticking up for a 45-year-old millionaire that takes advantage of young women. Sounds like Keem edging old-time to Genstar. You're cool, Linx. This will blow over and you'll continue kicking ass. Appreciate it. Unless something in the last 1 hour changes the fact I legit heard he asked and that's it. Listen to all of it. You listen to all of it, you would change your tune. Ain't no way Keem got any play before money if this is his Oh god. What's the part? Is it on this phone? Oh my god, plan C. I don't think now's the time for a plug. Though donations would piss him off, now's not the time for the plug.
It's like, I don't understand. I keep getting 20% of guys, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I showed my tits to Keemstar and he was going all over me.
Because that's not what happened.
What happened?
What is going on with my phone?
Great, each other.
It was me getting fucked. Up until like the...
It's like, okay, another girl. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
you know.
that's fair.
It was deeper than that. I like
my
Did you really just say that right now?
God. You were twisting words, but sure.
You've had thoughts of riding the keem cock.
No, not yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
Not
that's
yet.
disappointing. It's disappointing.
And then, I think this is a phone that has. Grace was making a disgusted face when looking at pause frame with Linx. That's okay. And then here's
Thing with like the same fucking feeling. Like we're like, I don't want to be gay or anything, but like we're meant to like be together in some aspect, right? Fuck. I've opened up way too much. Talk about my beard. How much you like my beard again? Right now. Do it now.
Your beard.
I did not. Like, don't get distracted.
I think it's this one.
Years that people were saying, like when they said that they had the vid.
Like I've heard this motherfucker before being like, he came on stream once.
Oh.
But it's like, did you hack my whole fucking computer?
Like. Oh no.
I'm trying to remember when I filmed it. How do you have it recorded? Do you record all your calls or something? Do you live in a two-party state? One-party state? One-party state. And yeah, it's so many recordings because there was a 4-hour call. Dude has a girlfriend talking to another woman like that. Jesus.
Right? All good moves for LCU. Keep in contact with me. Tell me what you're doing. And then send new nudes in the morning.
Oh, okay.
That's the task.
Got it.
We got
Spy.
it. We got it.
Yeah.
I want fresh ass pictures, not pictures people seen before.
Okay.
That's rude.
Yeah.
That's fucking rude. That's fucking rude.
I'm sorry. It's 6 in the morning, and you want me to take fresh news?
Rude!
The ones that got leaked weren't new.
The silence.
I can't believe that.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. You have a good night.
Good night.
I have to find it.
I stole one of your.
I'm performing in front of a live audience or whatever. Like, I'm the Discord. Like,
And what my thought process. Like we're just kind of go.
I'm just gonna post it separately. I don't know, there's a lot to go through. It's 4 hours to go through. But how is it weird when, like, obviously, if you're calling someone of significance like that, how is it weird to record it?
You can't even keep track.
it's, dude, there's so much that goes on a daily basis, girl.
And your fucking retard Ashes is like saying to Jay, yeah, she doxed me, and then got in a fight with Jay, and Jay literally like made her shut the fuck up.
Yo, wait, Twiggy is in chat, and guess what Twiggy just said?
Now here we get into sort of play the final voice recording. Now Linx has said that she will eventually release all the voice recording and everything. She just needs to edit some stuff out. Because in that moment, in her drunkenness and in keem manipulation, right, she did something that she really regrets now. And it's one of the main reasons why she created this whole stream was because of that whole thing that has happened in this recording. That's why she's going to release it. And as this was happening, again, there was other streams that were talking about it, particularly with Grays and at the same time Ruby in parallel to this. And obviously Nick Diorio caught wind of this, and he said in a couple of days he'll make a stream about it. Whether or not he does is a different question, because, you know, Nick is sometimes known as the keem sweeper. Now back to the whole Linx stuff. I do think that, you know, the clip really shows that how disgusting Keem is, though, and I'll get into it now. Even given how disgusting Keem is, I don't think this will be enough to take him down. I know that it is harsh. It's hard to believe that. I did also forget to mention that Linx also reveals that, like, Keem had an evolve and it was Grace channels being taken down. And I think a lot of people kind of knew that already, even Grace. It's kind of also sickening at this point, especially this final clip of this final part of the recording was very sickening and very disturbing for everybody. What's to come after this, I'm not exactly sure. I know that Linx was worried about, you know, a backlash, but we'll wait and see what happens.
Hello, chat.
So I told Ethan Ralph last night what happened, and we were going to cover it together. However, I needed to get ahead of it before the third party involved in this decided to, you know, I don't know, there are nobody who wanted clout is essentially my take on it. But so I like was live on air. I just played it all, and now Miss Thorps think that they came in chat to apologize to me. Said they didn't realize I was a victim, and essentially is trying to get me on their side again, which is not going to work.
I don't believe that. That's horseshit.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. CWW gives a big ups to Linx and Ralph. Thank you, Bentley.
Yeah, well, we discussed this after that loser. He doesn't deserve to be named. I agree. Totally crashed out. I got called. Basically, I got alerted to him crashing out, and I was there laughing and having fun. Then I found out about this issue later on, and well, my advice, I'll just go ahead and say it now. My advice was to go ahead and get ahead of it because I knew this guy was probably going to do what he did. I didn't know he would do it this fast.
Neither
Honestly,
did I.
so I just went to. Yeah, so, and how long you been on the air? For a bit. Okay, well, I guess there's no issues with me running it now either then.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. I'm gonna upload all the clips and then that way people can listen to it. I have to edit because my nudes are in one of, like, you can see in real time.
For the photo clip with Linx, we have Ethan Ralph getting involved because Ethan Ralph is sort of involved in part of it due to early engagement, especially with the whole Grace stuff that happened right after her and Ethan Ralph. There was also a stream like a day ago or two with her on the kill stream. Right. And Ralph was just telling her to strike when the iron's hot, which is something you should always do in a situation like that. Even no matter what, you should strike when the iron is hot and gain an opportunity, right? Whether it's for clout or money or sympathy or just to prove a point to people or just get your story out there. There's nothing really wrong with striking the iron hot. I've always said when it's coming to the internet, trying to be a moral person is not going to work out because it's just the way people are on the internet and the way they are. You can't really see what they're like face to face. Everything is under behind screened in text, which just makes it very difficult to even try to gauge what they're trying to say or do.
No, because I'm trying to compose myself. I've been in the back laughing for a minute because he really did not just say that. I would, like, I'm like cringed out right now. Like, I'm actually like having goosebumps on my body and not the fucking hearing that come out of his mouth and saying flood insurance. It literally not only dries me right the fuck up, but it makes me want to like punch him in the throat because do not ever say that to him ever, please.
And it's like even his flirting has like it's like this egotistical like stroking his own cock is like, yeah, I'm gonna turn you on so good. I'm just so good with women.
Bro, like 6 times. If a guy's flirting with me saying bro, like, sir, you're actually tripping. You have no type of game whatsoever. And this man is in his 30s, in his 40s, and you're talking.
40s.
Yeah.
He's almost 50, dude. It's so bad.
He's almost 50.
He's in his mid 40s.
He's
Okay,
talking to like women like he's in 11th grade. Like this is his first time ever like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna make you come." Like if we were on this Discord call, you would be needing flood insurance. Like, are you actually? I would be like, I need to get off the phone call. I would just hang up. I wouldn't even say shit. I would just hang up right then and there because you did not just.
I need to hear that sequence again because it was just so crazy.
Shit's only gonna appeal to like what? 20% of guys? You blonde?
Like I said, I was thinking of blonde for a while because when I first did that video, everyone was obsessed with the blonde, and I kept wearing it because I loved it so much.
Don't do that, Lola.
Wait, I think you went a little too far back. If you just hit the arrow, the right hand arrow button on your computer, you can like skip forward like 10 seconds.
No, not like I didn't really. That's the problem.
I mean, aren't women always the problem?
Here, right here.
Right. Let's.
I don't know. I can't say I've masturbated on call before because I haven't.
How did Linx just say like Mom just say with him like this? I don't know how she could do it.
Dude.
Like imagine really sitting there like trying to flirt back with a man that talks like this.
The only thing that makes sense is that either maybe she does have some attraction or she's like kind of playing him to get it because he always fucks with her. But like either way, it's
if he made the flood insurance comment, I would just be like, okay, this is like comedy riff time. Like,
yeah.
I would not be able to riff off of that in a legit flirtatious way.
No,
like flood insurance.
Like,
we're gonna need some landscapers to get that rock hard cock taken care of.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Bro.
That's what we're about, right? Let's play this out. Girl, masturbate. I want to see you come. Like, let's get what you've been missing, right?
Girl, that makes it sound gay, dude. Masturbate, girl.
Yeah,
I think so. I think so, yeah. Especially right now. Especially right now.
Yeah, I think so too. Bro, I think you would like literally be playing with that clip, bro. I'm telling you, I would have you climaxing on this Discord if this shit didn't break.
On this Discord.
Hot, dude. You would be flooding. You would have to get flood insurance, bro. I'm telling you.
He did not just say that.
Playing with Discord with his content.
I had no idea I got this. Wow, this is
Dude.
all over again. Flood insurance is the new Dripgate. Or like, bro, you're like literally gonna like need flood insurance on this Discord call, bro. Like, this Discord company is so hot. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh, no, and this is actually crazy though, because hella people watch him, and they're about to come to his streams tonight or whenever he streams next, and be talking about this shit. I mean,
Bro, I want everyone to go into his chat tonight and just be like, bro, flood insurance, bro.
Yeah, whoever is allowed to speak.
Bro, your clit, bro.
No,
Here we have the stream with Ruby, Ava, and Lola. I cannot pronounce her name. Yeah, so we're towards the end, guys. So thank you for bearing so long for this video. After this, we have one more clip. And so they give their perspective throughout the stream. Now, Ruby learned about it as he was already streaming. She learned about it through one of her people, because Linx and Ruby and Ava and to some extent even Lola all are kind of collaborating with each other. So it's overlapping with her on top of that. Right, so eventually, obviously Ruby's going to cover it because he sees Linx as a friend, very much a close friend nowadays, right? Even though they only know they know each other for a lot longer, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to refer to. So it is kind of just overflowing to different channels, right? As I'm recording this, he's right now live with Killstream. Probably when this is being uploaded, she'll probably still be live with that. I heard Destiny's covering this too. It's a lot of things that are going on and a lot of moving parts. And so in this particular clip, they give their little bit of their perspective. This is towards the end of Ruby's stream. And so as this is towards the end, Linx has already finished her stream. Grace already finished her stream. And then another stream came after that with dealing with Ben. And obviously Grace is still streaming as we speak about it. Because why not? We're all trying to cover it as fast as we can because it just spread out. It went it has deeply going everywhere at this point.
So you can have a smoke break, and then I think Lalo's going to come on. And what I'd like them to do together is really go through this like fine-tooth comb, because this is like 9/11. I'm telling you guys, this was not going to go away on April 17th. It's not going to be gone on the 18th. It's not going to be gone on the 19th. It's not going to be gone on the 20th. This is going to be covered by everyone in this world. Everyone in this world is going to cover this. Every commentator. You think the Destiny thing got a lot of traction? This is going to get... I mean, just these quotes, right? These clips are unbelievable. To a retarded, they would be unbelievable to any female. It's so cringe, but you add to it that she's retarded. And I'm not saying that as a way to put her down. She's literally retarded. She said she was retarded. She's 21 years old. She's financially dependent. She's navigating an economic relationship with this guy. She's drinking, despite not having been a drinker in the past. And he knows all of this. He knows all of this. And he's just like, yeah, let's go. We're getting her. We're getting, what was that? Does that go? We're getting Linx's pussy wet. Hey.
So the final clip is with Ben, funny enough. As I said, Linx is right now is streaming with Ethan Ralph on the Kill stream. Destiny is supposedly talking about it, and I wouldn't be surprised if other people are talking about it because of just how major this is, right? Obviously, Ben is trying to kind of be this more high ground person, trying to say, the usual Ben stuff when it's coming with Linx, and it's just overflowing. I know Linx says he didn't want it to be as massive, but it's already too late. Due to the fact that this involves Keem, somebody who people know and it's related to drama alert, we'll have to wait and see what Keem response is. Probably when this video is uploaded, it's going to probably be uploaded during the local live stream. So we'll see. And if I have to do a updated video on that and events that occur after that, we'll have to wait and see, because it has just gone massively. This video took me I'm trying to rush this video out to kind of just get all these clips, all these things, all these different perspectives, all these people talking because of just how massive it is and how much it's going through. It's so intense that I'm a little kind of burnt out a little bit. But if stuff emerged and probably Keem may or may not respond to it, I will give out a perspective, and I probably may or may not cover a little bit of the kill stream part in a different video. With that being said, have a good one, be safe, and my word advice to Linx, keep your head up, don't give up. Till next time, be safe.